Hi, so this is the third video in the series. Today I am solving another third medium question in the SQL 50. So last two questions were from the basic joins, and this one is from the basic aggregate functions. Okay, so let's start by looking at the table. So we have a transactions table. So the column here, we have ID column, that is the primary key of this table. Then we also have a country, the state, and the amount and the transaction date. And this table, it has information about incoming transactions, and the state column is an enum of type if that transaction was approved or if it was declined. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to write an SQL query to find each month and country, okay, and the number of transactions and their total amount, the number of approved transaction, and then their total amount. Okay, let's also look at the data. So we have the ID column, also the country column, then we have the transaction state if it was approved or declined, we have the amount and the transaction date. Got it. So let's start by writing down what we need. So in our output, we will have how many columns? We'll have month, then we have country, then we have number of transaction count, we also have transaction amount, approved transaction count, and approved transaction amount, right? So we have 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 columns in this output, and yeah, I think that's about it. And we can again just sort the table in any order. And if you look at the output columns, we only have country column as is, because we have to derive the month column, transaction amount. Okay, so amount we have, transaction count we have to derive, approved transaction count, and amount also we kind of have to derive. So yeah, let's start by writing the query. So we have to work with only one table here. So I'll just select from transactions table. Okay. Yep. So we know that we have to, so all the transaction amount, transaction count, and approved amount transactions, we have to show that for each month and country. So we know that we have to group the data by month and country, but we do not have the month, but we have country. How do we group it by month? Is we have to take the part of the date, right? So there are a lot of ways to do it. I will just do left transaction date, and we 4 5 6 7. So first 7, because we just need the month and the year also. Let's look at the output. Do we need just the month? Because there's month function also through which we can get the month of the date, but then it also needs the month and year. I'm just using the left. Okay, so there are multiple ways to derive date part, but yeah, let's go with this one. I'm just checking. I'll just check the data, and let's see, just name it as month. Yep. So now we see we have month, 12 month, because we have just December of 2018, then January 2019, and since we have also grouped by, because we have transaction data for both countries, D and US, for Jan 2019, so we have 2 rows for that. Okay, looks good. Okay, so we have these 2 parts already. Now we'll look at the transaction count. So we know we want to see the number of transactions that were done for that month and that country. We will get it by count of, because we need all the transactions, and this is like all the rows, each row is a transaction row, right? So we can just take the ID and count it as what name do we think we can take it from the output. You can give, I don't think it'll matter, but yeah, as transaction count. Let's just run and see. Yes, so we have the transaction count. Looks good. Now we'll go to the next part, which is we need the transaction amount. That is also pretty simple. You'll get it by, you'll sum it, you will aggregate your amount per country and the month. Sum it by, because you're already grouping it, so we just need to put some amount as your amount. I'm just taking the column name from the output, because we have it, but you can give any name. Not approved, but oh, okay. Third one, they need approved count, but yeah, we'll get there. Okay, let's just check this, and then we can do. Looks good. I'll just, because we see that the output, it has like the 1 2 3 4th column is approved count, so I'll just get the count here. So approved counts are those counts where state is approved. So we'll write a case statement, case when our state is approved. Then I'll say, because we need, I'm deriving the count of the approved transactions, so I'll just say wherever it was approved, it's 1. There is a 1 transaction that has happened that was approved, else it's 0. And I'll end the statement and I'll sum it and just put it as approved count. Let's just run this, and we have, looks good so far. So we are done with month. We have month column, we have country column, we have transaction amount, we have transaction count, then we have the approved count. Now we just need is the approved amount. It would be similar to this statement, just with a slight change. When cases state is approved, you have 1. Instead of 1, you have amount, and then you sum it as what the name is, approved total amount, and yes, it's accepted. Because we didn't need to order it, because it, again, the question doesn't specify any specific order, so you can keep it as it is. And then yeah, it was pretty simple to work with. Oh, I did not start the timer, but I think we just finished it within maybe 5 minutes or so. So yeah, that's good. That's all for this video. Thank you. I just didn't submit it. Submitted, looks good.